It's the ice. Why is it so big?
So it doesn't melt. It's actually really interesting how they do it. It's this one company out in Boston that... That went south so fast!
Hey, Nick, remember that time we went to the Old West and, we had to fight evil Liam Neeson?
Yeah, oh boy, do I.
Or, hey, Nick, remember that time when we had that teddy bear that wouldn't stop talking to us?
No.
And that creepy pedophile guy tried to steal our teddy bear?
Yeah, I think you have some issues you need to work out with your therapist there.
Hey, Nick, remember that time when... Oh, all right, basically, if you guys don't figure out what we're doing a review for, Million Ways to Die in the West.
Million Ways to Die in the West.
Was that your best, Old West?
No, that was me.
Oh, yes.
That's my natural voice. This is a voiceover.
All right, yes. Yes, we're talking Million Ways to Die in the West, the newest Seth MacFarlane movie. Damn. I have to say, Nick, we're just going to get the sheep out of the bag right now. I have heard people saying this is better than Blazing Saddles. Yes or no?
I would probably say yes, just because it doesn't have a stupid ending.
Okay, yeah, Blazing Saddles had a very retarded ending, but I will say no, because I want to be different than you. So I'm going to say no for one reason. This has little to no quotables to it. Unlike Blazing Saddles, where you can just be like, oh yeah, the sheriff's a Nick, or something where you can actually quote.
My name's Jim. Most people just call me Jim.
Exactly.
And, Gene Wilder.
Oh, yes.
Can't go wrong with Gene Wilder.
He's just randomly motorboating that shit. I'm sorry, what? Anyways. Yes, anyways, yeah. This is our generation, though, of this generation's, Blazing Saddles. I think, honestly, I'm going to say it. Seth MacFarlane, he directed and wrote this movie. Basically, he had his dick all over this movie. He directed, starred, wrote this movie. This was his little love child. And it is hilarious. It is fun. But if you do not like Seth MacFarlane's humor, if you do not like Family Guy, if you do not like Ted, you probably shouldn't see this movie. If you do not like fart jokes, if you're one of those people that are above fart and poop jokes, you'll be pissed off in this movie.
Because there are a lot.
There are a lot. There's a lot of fart jokes, poop jokes. There's actually a very weird mustache thing that they really hold on to that I never really thought was that funny. I mean, granted, I admit the song was a little catchy, but...
The song was extremely catchy.
Yes. And no, we will not sing it. We might put it in the review, though, just so you guys can be singing it yourselves, like, mustache, my mustache. Anyways, yes, the movie is very juvenile in the comedy, but if you're into that kind of thing, then yes, you will enjoy the ever-living shit out of it, because this almost damn near feels like one of the Family Guys, like a very long Family Guy thing, because... from what I interpreted from this there, Nick, is how they do cutbacks. They do, I mean, not often. Like not as bad as like early Family Guy episodes where it's just like, oh yeah, here's a cutback. But they do that. They do a couple cutaways, and they do drug references. They make atheist jokes. They have fun with it. This is his type of humor. But he also has some smart, nerdy humor that, if you understand the references, you will just get a kick out of it. I mean, we'll just talk about the one that's in the trailer itself, the Doc Brown reference. Even though I saw that in the trailer, still makes me laugh.
Oh, yeah, no. I saw that movie twice, made me laugh both times.
Oh, yes. I have to say, though, seeing it twice, Nick, that the jokes get stale.
No.
No, they didn't.
I mean, some of them did, but most of them, no, not really.
Not really. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, you got, Seth MacFarlane, he plays, he's, as I described to you, Nick, when we were talking about this after the film, Seth MacFarlane plays as if you and I were, he had, our mindset in the past. Just everything is shitty. Literally just crap. Everything's trying to kill you. Can't even go to the bathroom without dying. The West is a terrible place. And, I dig the hell out of this whole mindset of the main character as a guy who just hates being there. He's a guy of luxury, and he's never grown up in luxury, but he's has a mindset as if he was grown up in luxury. He just wants to be comfortable. He doesn't want to be a sheep farmer. He just wants to, sit around on the couch and, watch TV type of mentality.
Clearly he does want to be a fucking sheep farmer.
Yeah, I guess, at the end, he does, but, I don't know, the entire movie, he keeps bitching about being a sheep farmer, so,
He bitches about being a terrible sheep farmer.
Yeah, true. You got Charlize Theron, who is, goddamn, is she hot in this movie, I have to say. I mean, it maybe my just comparison of watching Prometheus recently and seeing her in that, where she's like this uptight bitch the entire time. Her being like
this one where she's just like a free-loving badass.
Yeah, I know. It's just like, wow, she's way more hot. And especially, she actually makes the Old West chicks look very attractive, which we would not have seen in the Old West, are attractive ladies. And brings me to Amanda Siegfried, who honestly is only there just to be his, other love interest, because she really has little to no lines.
She plays the same role she always does, just that dumb bimbo.
Dumb bimbo. She is a bitch. I really do not like her. I mean, not as her as an actress. I think she's fine as an actress, but her character in this, not really. Nah. One of my more favorites, which he was kind of like, what he reminded me of? Giovanni Ribisi.
Giovanni Ribisi.
Yeah, him. Thank you. That guy, he reminded me of older Stewie from one of the Family Guy episodes. Where he'd never seen a woman. He's really just kind of timid and just, that's what he reminded me of. He was like the exact character of older, 30-year-old Stewie. Stu, yes, Stu. And I'm surprised they didn't have a scene where he cried after sex. I'm not gonna lie.
That's because I don't think they ever actually got around to doing it.
Yes. Oh my god. I have to say, Sarah Silverman was pretty damn funny in this movie. She is a natural comedian, and she is hilarious.
And she's a natural whore, too.
Yeah, well, yes. In this, she is a whore, and, her boyfriend...
I mean, even look at her character in The League.
Oh, yeah, in The League. I forgot she was in The League, yeah.
Yeah, and guess what she was there? A fucking whore. Except she didn't get paid for it. Yeah. She just, had sex with 12-year-olds. When she was also 12.
Yes, was she actually 12? I thought she was like 16 in that episode.
Whatever, okay, when she was a teenager.
Yeah, still.
No, hooray for pedophilia.
Yeah, well, not sort of. 16's really, they're both minors.
Hooray for pedophilia.
Whatever. The only character that I think was a real big waste, and it wasn't in your, who do you think I'm going to mention? Because we didn't mention
Neil Patrick Harris.
Yes, you were actually correct. I thought you were going to say Liam Neeson. Because Liam Neeson really he's not as big of a role as they like to pretend he is in this movie.
I really thought you were going to talk about Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, that was awesome. That right there was just awesome, him just being in that movie. But, I have to say, just Neil Patrick Harris, because, yes, he has one gimmick, and that's all they use for him is he's the mustache guy. And that's all they do.
He's playing Neil Patrick Harris, but not the Harold and Kumar Neil Patrick Harris, but, the How I Met Your Mother Neil Patrick Harris the whole time.
They're almost the same thing. He's supposed to be the sexist, Neil Patrick Harris, which is always a fun, ironic thing, being the gay man playing the sexist.
I'm not gonna lie. Being a fan of How I Met Your Mother, when I heard him say "challenge accepted" in this movie, I was just like, ha.
Oh, yeah, that didn't really do much for me. Neil Patrick Harris, he's the mustache guy, and I think that, they kind of ride his gimmick. They ride that whole mustache joke into the ground, and as being that I brought it up twice, it kind of got under my skin, I'm not gonna lie. They did, this is a competent Western, but it's more of a parody of all Westerns, kind of like this, like I said before, this generation's Blazing Saddles, which I could dig of this being a parody of Westerns, but I wish they would have done a little bit more. They call it A Million Ways to Die in the West, but yet I only think we saw 16 deaths total. There wasn't that many ways of dying in the West, I don't know. Any rebuttal against that or no?
7, 8, 9.
Oh, Nick is counting. Okay.
Keep going.
Alright, anyways, yeah. Much great as it is to hear Nick trying to be like, alright, how many people died? But yeah, I don't think that, I could have gone to see more people dying in ridiculous ways, in which they do, which is part of the, comedy in it. They do some, I know, I keep saying doo-doo. They do some good cameos, as we mentioned, like Ryan Reynolds and stuff. They're just kind of more like, moments. I do have to say, be careful which theater you see this in. This is a Brandon cautionary tale. Go see it in a dead theater. If you're one of those people who hate talking or hate, laughing, I guess. Well, not laughing too much, but if you hate talking and mumbling, you got to be careful what theater you see this in, because I guarantee if you see it with any type of form of, early 20s to teenage people, they may talk, and they may do the one thing that annoys the shit out of me, and that is repeat the joke that you just heard. Because apparently that makes it funny, isn't it? I mean, isn't that just like comedy 101? Like, oh!
Comedy 101.
When the Indian guy says, or when Seth MacFarlane, Albert character, says Mila Kunis, speaking Native American, clearly I want to hear someone behind me say, Mila Kunis. Because, he didn't present it, funny enough, but, the person behind me, that's what made me laugh. Liam Neeson, badass.
As always.
Yeah, as always. I mean, I can't even think of a movie where he's not a badass. But in the end, the movie is a fun ride. It is a funny movie, but not something I would take anybody who's squeamish in any way, because, I mean, if you have an easily turned stomach, I wouldn't see this movie, because it will show people getting killed in some brutal freaking fashions.
And one scene that is just like, wow.
Yeah, and one scene that is just and one of the, as I like to call them, McFarlanes, where the joke just runs on for far too long. I won't spoil the joke for those of you people who maybe like those, but they do have at least one that I can think of off the top of my head that really, yet again, brings back to Neil Patrick Harris. I like Neil Patrick Harris, but I did not like him in this movie. I did not think they used him well. But anyways, I think if you're into Seth MacFarlane's humor, there's no reason why you should not see this. There's no reason. He is a very talented comedian. I think he's one of our more talented comedians of our generation. And I think out of the two movies he's made, he's done a great job. He has not yet made the idiotic Adam Sandler route yet. He's still making fairly smart, pretty damn funny comedies. I have, it's not perfect.
But he's still going up. He hasn't sold out yet.
Yeah, he hasn't sold out.
He's spending like 2 or 3 years between movies actually trying to come up with a good concept.
Yes.
Not like Adam Sandler, who just rolls some boggle dice around and sees what kind of crap he can produce.
Yes, he is still currently one of our guys where we could be like, yes, Seth MacFarlane's comedy, I need to go see that. It's not, I guarantee maybe 15 years from now we might be in the same route, like, oh, fuck, another Seth MacFarlane comedy. But yes, he is doing great, and I'm actually quite amazed he's juggling both Family Guy and this. When he's doing this.
Well, I mean, you say juggling, I say he's putting a lot more focus on the one, because Family Guy's gone downhill since well before Ted came out.
Honestly, I kind of feel like, because being that he directed, wrote, produced, basically had acted in this movie, that he probably left Family Guy to his other people. Maybe he did voice acting here and there, but he was not making any of the decisions at the moment. Which I was amazed. I did not see more of the Family Guy cast in this movie. I saw one, besides MacFarlane himself.
Yeah, so one.
I saw the woman who plays Lois, and that's it.
But I mean, even Ted only had one other person in there for a minor role.
Well, they had Mila Kunis, and
that is true. Okay,
so I had a couple, and it was just one of those things that kind of amazed me. But anyways, it's a fun film, not perfect. And it's not gonna, it might be one of your favorite films, but it's not gonna do like Hangover status where everyone's like, oh, it's #1 comedy. No, this is something it has its niche audience, it's gonna make its money back, probably more money than he's put in. He gets some good, character actors coming in this. It's a fun ride. So, would you rate this?
I'd give it a 3.5.
3.5? That's very fair. I'd give it a 3.5. I would give it a 3. Like I said, not perfect, fun ride, fun matinee. I wouldn't pay full price to see this. There's no reason. You need to see it. You honestly don't need to see it in a theater, but it'll be one of those things where, you probably, depending on what kind of group of people you hang around, you're going to probably hear some of the jokes being repeated. And if you want to understand them, you're going to have to see the movie. Really depends who you hang out with.
Yeah, all I can really say is, if you like Ted, I would say this movie is probably funnier than Ted.
It is funnier than Ted. Honestly, I like this more than Ted.
But this is a lot less stoner comedy. It's a smarter comedy.
It is a smarter comedy. It's more of a genre comedy, which, I like way more than stoner comedies. I like way more than...
Well, Ted was it was like the bromantic comedy, because it had all the cliches of a romantic comedy.
Very true. It was more of a bromantic comedy, but it was still the whole concept of two dudes just sitting around on the couch. Like, they had way more weed references. This one has some drug using references.
One?
No, that's two.
Two.
but it's still not, you know, it doesn't overbog it. I know it sounds like we're a bunch of old fogies, like, I don't like drug references. I just don't find it funny. It's like, I don't care if it's in there. I'm not going to laugh. You're not going to expect me to be like, oh, he's freaking out about a cookie type thing. So, anyways, that is it, everybody. Let us know your thoughts about this movie. We'd love to hear it. Just put it down in the comment section of wherever you're hearing this at. So, just a little side minder. We will not be able to comment back on YouTube because, you know, I can't and he won't ever look. So, anyways, that is everybody. Have fun. Good night. Anything you want to add?
Blueberries.
Blueberries.
Don't